Hi guys, and welcome to my review on the Amazing Spider-Man 2 for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, PC, PS4 and Xbox One. Now, to most people's opinion, to be honest, this game is a very below average Spider-Man game and a honestly terrible one, to be honest. In my opinion, no. I think this is an absolutely great Spider-Man game, and I'm here to tell you why by starting with the graphics and gameplay. So yeah, so as you can see, the graphics aren't terrible, but to be honest, they're not exactly great. The best you're going to get is Spider-Man's character model, looking absolutely fantastic, whereas the rest of the civilians, and how should we say, in the game sort of don't look as good, which makes the game pretty not as good, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, that is upsetting. But other than that, the game is an absolutely delight to enjoy. The city looks pretty good, absolutely fantastic actually. And gameplay wise, the swinging has greatly been improved. I've never had so much fun in a Spider-Man game swinging along the rooftops of New York City. And to be honest, it's honestly fun. I mean, just look at this. This is like the bomb. And it's not encouraged to go that high because there's barely any buildings up high. And that's true. You can like go down, swing down low, narrowly miss taxis, get involved in car chases, and absolutely enjoy yourself. This game is absolutely fantastic for graphics. Sorry, no, it's not. This game's decent for graphics and absolutely amazing for gameplay. I honestly love the gameplay in this game. But this is my opinion, of course, and no one else's. So if you don't share the same opinion as me, leave your opinion in the comment section. I'm open to ideas. However, my opinion on this is it's a good game. And that might be because I'm a die-hard Spider-Man fan, but if I wasn't, I'm sure I would still get a kick out of playing this game. Now we're going to move on to the story. So the game's story starts off... Yeah, the game story starts off at a flashback to Peter's past, where he is dealing with, of course, his life, basically. It starts off with Peter's past, back in 2012, of course, when the movie came out, as he is walking through the street after running away from home. After we check that out, we realise that Peter is walking through the same scene where his uncle died, which means when you're walking here, Peter's spider sense goes off and his uncle ends up getting shot. Now, you run over and find out that it is your Uncle Ben who has been shot. Now, Uncle Ben's death is just a flashback. The game does not centre around that. The game first centres around you trying to find his killer. After Uncle Ben is killed, after being thrown back into the action, you are free to swing around New York City as you please. So, the story goes a little something like this. You try to find Uncle Ben's killer, Dennis Carradine, and find out that Dennis Carradine has been... you chase him in a car and find out that Dennis Carradine was killed by someone called the Carnage Killer, which turns out to be, of course, spoiler alert, Cletus Cassidy, who later becomes the Spider-Man villain known as Carnage. Spider-Man villain known as Carnage happens to be one of my favourite Spider-Man villains and should not be messed with. So yeah, I think Carnage was just thrown in for fan service, but I still kind of like the story. So yeah, it goes a little something like that. After you find out it's the Carnage Killer, you seek help from Craven the Hunter, who wishes to mentor you. He turns out to be a backstabbing Two-Face, But what did you expect from one of Spider-Man's greatest and most worthy villains? You will also fight along the way villains such as Shocker, Kingpin, Electro, the Green Goblin, and of course, the big one himself, Carnage. And then the game ends. That is basically it. Genuinely, I'm not joking. You fight some bosses, you find Dennis Carradine, he's dead, you find the Carnage Killer, work with Craven, do a couple of missions as Peter Parker, and yeah, that's it. Story's pretty basic, but I still like it. And to be honest, the most satisfying thing I got from this game was just the literally free roaming about the city, web slinging around. It felt pretty awesome. And web slinging around is something I actually find extremely fun. And of course, swinging has been greatly improved. You now press, if there's a building on the left side of you, you press the left trigger to latch onto it. And if there's a building on the right, use the right trigger. Therefore, you can interchange your hands, and to be honest, pulling the right trigger then swinging round the right corner is just something fun to do. And unlike in the IGN review, I actually cut the corner without banging into a building. Yes, IGN, we know you suck at games. You, Sonic Unleashed, you failed at that pretty good. So, yep. Sorry IGN, you can't spell ignorance without IGN. Thank you, come again. Anyway, another unique feature added to this game, instead of going into your menu and stuff to view like unlocked stuff, you now have to attend Stan's comic store. Alright, so which looks like this, and of course Stan Lee owns it. It's like the best. Stan Lee owns the comic stand. But this is where you can go and look at your figurines. Like, these are the ones I've unlocked. All of the figurines. So yeah, you unlock all of them, which I've done. Right, so unlock all of them, and then you can go and check out comics you've unlocked. You can also go and check, there's a lot of Easter eggs in here as well. If you zoom in, there's some comics, action figures. It's really cool. So yeah, but there is one thing and also in the comic shop there's an arcade beat 'em up, which is easy. You just play a combat game with the gameplay mechanics. One thing I hate about this game, the constant loading screens. That's one thing I didn't like about this game, and that's why it isn't getting a 10. Because look at these loading screens, they take forever. It's so boring to sit and watch them, especially when they happen 24/7. These loading screens are everywhere. Be sure you are going to see them over 100 times before this game is up. In a second now. Coming soon. Coming soon. Ah, there we go. You see what I mean? So yeah, this game overall is pretty good. So now I'll talk a bit about the combat. Combat is pretty simple, where it's dealing with a bunch of petty thugs, which are seriously really easy. It's just attack, counter, or dealing with a bunch of guys in a car chase. The possibilities are endless. This game is absolutely great for combat in my opinion. Boss battles may sometimes be repetitive, but other than that, it's pretty good for combat. It really is. And of course there are quick time events, but they are fun. And now I'm going to have a bit of fun with this car. You know, like in the comics and stuff where Spider-Man takes ages to swing after these cars. I've always wanted a game where you could do that, like be in an actual car chase and swing after them for a bit. Way! So yeah, in conclusion, game's combat is absolutely pretty good. Now I'm going to give you my verdict. This game is actually a great Spider-Man game. It's way better than Edge of Time, to be honest. And I think it's actually better than the first Amazing Spider-Man game. Okay, I'm just going to deal with this car. So yeah, what I want you to do is, I don't know, oh crap. I don't know. Rate, comment, subscribe. Also, but I need to give you my verdicts on this game. So what I want you to do is go out and buy this game because it's great. I'm giving this game an 8.5 out of 10. I think it deserves that much, and I think it's worth your money. So yeah, definitely get this game. The combat may be a bit repetitive. These car chases might be quite annoying. However, in general, the game's pretty good. So yeah, I think you should give this game a go. I think you should buy it. I got it for $32.99. It's a pretty decent game. So if you're getting it, get it. Make sure you do. And of course, I'll see you guys next time.